How do we know we're live?
There's a ticker in the top right hand corner that says 9, 10, 11. So you've been 11 seconds into the broadcast. You might
Okay.
want to introduce yourself.
Okay. Welcome to We Keep It Moving with Marcia Jews. Thank you so much for joining us. And we have a full 2 hours today that I think you all are really going to enjoy. And every time you turn in here, you can expect the unexpected each time you show up. And I'll tell you, no telling what we're going to hear today because Donnie Glover is joining us for the full 2 hours.
No, no,
And
no,
we're
no, 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 no.
we're so excited that he's here because we
I
have
created
a
for 1 hour.
very interesting and wonderful program, and he doesn't know anything about it. So this is going to be a pleasant surprise and loads of fun that I think will be a great celebration. It's his 20th anniversary for Bmore News, and I am so excited. We are all excited that he has been able to still stand and report the news and where they uncover the truth. And he really does. And he's done that for 20 years. And Donnie, my hat's off to you. I'm really proud of you, brother, because you've done some incredible work. Donnie Glover is the CEO of DM Global, a media marketing and public relations firm he founded in 2002. After his stint concluded at Empower Baltimore Management Corporation, EBMC, the $100 million federally funded empowerment zone charged with helping transform parts of East and West Baltimore. There, he served for 3 years as a public information specialist. Prior to that, Glover was editor in chief at the Sandtown Winchester Viewpoint newspaper, a community oriented publication that reached the 72 square blocks of this historic West Baltimore community from 1994 to 2000. A Ronald E. McNair honors graduate from Coppin State University with a bachelor's degree in English, media arts, broadcast production, and technology, Glover actually began his academic career at Morehouse College. At present, he's working to complete his master's in international affairs at Morgan State University, and his ultimate academic goal is to obtain his PhD. For the past 2 decades, the award winning journalist star in the world of media has certainly risen. With over 20 years of news talk hosting under his belt at Radio 1, Baltimore's WOLB 1010 AM, Glover has since taken his show to the web via YouTube and Facebook. Speaking of which, Glover has clearly demonstrated how social media can propel one's reach to a modest 211,000 followers. In any event, Glover has used his platforms, including his flagship, bmorenews.com, to highlight and bring attention to the developments in the Black community as they unfold. While Bmore News' primary news beat is Baltimore City, it also covers major Black enclaves, including Northwest Baltimore County, Howard County, Prince George's County, the Eastern Shore of Maryland, and Washington, D.C. Further, he's covered news across the country, including 3 dozen visits to the White House, as well as on the ground news coverage from Ethiopia, Tanzania, Jordan, Jamaica, and Canada. Bmore News' agenda has always been the same: Black business, public education, ex offender services, affordable housing, and universal access to health care. With that in mind, every major politician in the state has been featured in Bmore News, which boasts a YouTube library of over 4,000 original clips. Since the onset of Bmore News, Glover has, I'm
Five.
sorry, five. Oh, now it's five. Okay, so it's changed from the time I got this. 5,000. Since the onset, he has hosted business networking events across the region. What started off as the Harambe Dinner Club eventually morphed into the Joe Mann's Black Wall Street Awards, designed to celebrate Black entrepreneurs and professionals as well as the people who support them, regardless of race. To date, over 1,700 individuals have been recognized in
1900.
Okay, so you're going to have to update your information and send me a bio that's accurate. have recognized in 6 U.S. cities: New York, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., Richmond, Atlanta, New Orleans, and he's got a couple of others that aren't on this page. Furthermore, he's hosted 2 annual national Black Wall Street summits. And it should also be noted that he's been active in Maryland politics since 1998. And further, he's helped advise a number of winning political candidates on the local, state, and federal levels. And he has also provided political analysis on local television networks since 2000. Quoted in a number of publications over the years, Glover was blessed with his first national television appearance on TV1's Roland Martin Show, not long after the tragic death of Freddie Gray in Baltimore thrust Glover more into the national spotlight as he appeared on CNN twice with Carol Costello and Sonny Hostin. In addition, he was interviewed by a host of national and international news outlets. He's also the author of 2 books, Unapologetically Black, Donnie Glover autobiography, and I Am Black Wall Street. This new book covers the history behind Tulsa's Black Wall Street. Further, he launched blackusa.news in December of 2020, and is now broadcasting 7 days a week on Facebook and YouTube. The network features a number of hosts from around the country, including William Honeyblue, Nicole Orr, Tamara Brown, Dave Lovelace, Keita Chansey, Dason Brooks, Doug Blackshear, Dr. Ashley Coleman, Tajmir Gaithers, Joey Noble, Maccabee Griffin, Yolanda Pulley, Donna Tabron, Jason Rodriguez, and Michael Haney. I would say my biggest passion is helping the plight of America's Black-owned businesses, he said. Nationally, we have 1.4 trillion in annual disposable income. To me, he says that regardless of what political party is in power, we have enough resources to fix any problems we might have. And that's exactly why he's telling the world about Black Wall Street history nationally. It is so important to him. If our ancestors were able to survive lynching, murder, rape, and terror and still build successful Black businesses, communities, then we literally have no excuse today, no matter what we think. Otherwise, we are like beggars sitting on bags of gold. And there's more, but you'll have to buy the books. You can get the full bio. This is really exciting. So talk to me about why it was important for you to create Bmore News. What was missing in the community for you to do that?
I was writing for the Baltimore Times, for the Afro, and then for the Final Call. And after writing, quite honestly, a number of front page stories for other publications, it only made sense, especially growing up in a family business, for me to have my name on the door.
That's critical. And that's critical. You know, so you might as well do it so that you set the standard of what should be. Well, we have somebody who I was thinking about you and all of the relationships that you have from around the country, and particularly in the DMV, DC, Maryland, and Virginia. And I thought it might be kind of interesting for a couple of those people to join us and just share a few words. And so with us, we have Mr. Terrence Dickerson. Would you please bring him on? Hi, Terrence. We got to unmute his. We need you to unmute.
Hey, peace,
There we
Queen.
go.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Great. How are you? Thank you for joining us.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much for inviting me. Hey, good afternoon, Donnie. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. You know,
Well, we were talking earlier today, Terrence, about all of the things that you were doing and all the experiences you had. But you and Donnie have been good friends along the way, and he hosts a lot of events in your spaces. Let's talk about Black businesses working together the way you two do.
Yeah, me and Donnie, we go back a little bit. I remember first when he started doing something in reference to the Black Wall Street piece, and it was very powerful. You know, enlightening people on things that of the past that was really a template for success in the Black community is very important. And a lot of people in business and out of business really don't know the power of Black business. Okay, and Donnie was very good in reference to promoting other businesses, getting people to actually network together and think together, and also getting some exposure. So, very good time in reference to Donnie sharing with the community and really moving forward and sharing the vision of Black Wall Street, and that story of Tulsa, Oklahoma, and that they could do it back then. Why can't we do it now? Why aren't we doing it now? Really kind of straightforward and simple.
Mhm. You know what I think is so beautiful that, people say that we don't always work properly together, but you two have really been doing a lot of work together and have been very vocal in this community. What do you think that Black businesses should be doing? How should they be focusing? And what is it that we're missing that we need to add that ingredient to how we build our Black business communities?
If I had to, Donnie, go ahead, brother. That was for me or for Donnie?
I would think it was for Donnie.
But that was
Love,
for Donnie.
love. But I want to hear what Terrence got to say.
Go ahead.
No, go
Love
ahead.
and love and
It's your
forgiveness.
time. It's your time, baby.
I'm
Go
just,
ahead.
I'm
Because
just
you
a
know what?
humble
Just like
servant.
laying of an onion. All right. Guess what? It's going to take a lot of us to get there.
Yes.
Right now in Baltimore City and cities across the country, guess what? It really is all hands on deck. Continually, time after time, as this era of COVID and pandemic and shutdowns and no funding, a lot of money on the street. And the crazy part is we have to really just get to a part of realizing that guess what? We got to go back to the old way. We have to build it ourselves. Nobody's coming. All right. And the encouragement comes from each other. And guess what? We're not going to get it all right. And guess what? You're not going to really be able to bang it out with everybody. But there are going to be a few things that we're going to have to be intentional about, that we're going to have to work on. And guess what? We're going to have to hold a lot of people in our community accountable because it's more than ever. We're seeing now that guess what? All skin ain't your kin. Okay? All right? All skin really ain't your kin. And we really have to focus on moving ourselves away from the emotion into the logical realm of what really is working here and what's not working and the accountability. I think that's it. I think that, from yesteryear, and definitely thankful for all of those who are in the civil rights and everything that march for everything that we have now. You know what I mean? That part of everything that was the ballot. We focus on the ballot. I think that we're in a realm right now, knowing that we're in a realm right now, that now we need to work with the bullet, okay? Because the ballot hasn't worked, okay? And just like the conversation we had this morning, that I was early, baby. I was early. So when they say that CP time and then Black people
That don't
time,
that don't
come on,
relate
they
to
can't
him.
catch it. I was 12 hours early, okay? But right now, okay, the great part is that it really is time for the bullet in our community.
No
All
question.
right.
It's
And it
time.
has to be something that we have to take ourselves to accountability.
Yeah.
All right. Enough of the excuses. We had that conversation this morning in reference to the leadership and also the complexity of the Black male in our community right now, how they truly are being attacked. And that's real important. That's real important that we
Okay.
get men to stand up for our community, because when you hear a bump in the night, I don't think any of the books are written where the sister goes downstairs.
Right.
Okay. And
Hmm.
once again, when you look at what's going on right now, trying to repair Baltimore and trying to do things from the seats. That shit don't work.
Well, we all have to work together, Terrence.
Yeah, we got
and
to get in the streets though.
right.
All right.
And that's going to be another, but that's going to be another show where we really sit down.
I'm gonna leave it alone. Then.
No.
Leave it alone.
But you're on point. And I'm not trying to disrespect you, because this, I think the conversation that we started this morning, the conversation that you're in right now, that is a whole show by itself, and we should follow up.
So we're gonna leave it. We agreed on that earlier.
Yeah.
All right, but we're gonna talk about the awesome things that Donnie has done with the Black Wall Streets and the business in the community, and the social issues that came up that concern. Guess what? Not minorities. Some of us get it. It has to be Black, because when you dissect that word minority, remember, we go back and do basics. And for justice, all those that don't know and never seen before, everybody has their version of how it's dissected, and this is just mine, okay? But me and Numbers are real good friends, because when you take that 28% and you bust it down, okay, and you go through so many, it ends up only with about 3% for our Black men in our community.
Well, hold that thought.
That's not a fair cut.
No, we're going to have that conversation. You're going to pull it all together in an outline, and the three of us will sit down and talk about it so that we can do something like this.
Yeah,
I think it's powerful.
I just wanted to say thank you.
I know,
Donnie,
but
you're
on. So I don't want you to, please, no disrespect. We just have a timetable, but you are so on point, and
I want to
that
thank you for
conversation
inviting
needs
me
to be
on.
done.
And I'm going to leave some time for some other people.
Okay, well, we've got Catalina Bird in the
All right, then.
in
Thank
the
you,
corner.
Everybody.
All right,
Hey,
babe. Thank you so much, Terrence.
All right, then.
I didn't hear. Hey, Donnie, come on over here and get some of that sway fish with stuff with crab meat for your 20.
You got my number, baby. You got my number. We smiling right now.
But y'all can't be talking about no food, and I can't get none. Wait, hold on.
I always got to play for you. Always got to play for you, Queen. All right?
All righty.
You too, Donnie. All right.
What will you do it?
And see, he'll be over there as soon as he gets off here.
Right.
He'll be right over there.
All right, then bless it. Thank you once again.
All right, darling.
I appreciate you.
I'm gonna be up in the jerk garden. He know where I'm gonna be at. Know why he playing.
All right.
Take care.
What day is the 20th anniversary over there for Bmore News?
Today.
I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
What day is the 20th anniversary celebration for Bmore News at Terra Cafe Jerk Garden?
You call me. We'll call me.
That's not a date.
Yeah. You don't get dates like that, brother. Come on, you gotta call me. We're gonna look on the calendar and talk about it. I got you. I don't have the calendar on my show right now.
Already set up the surprise.
Huh?
You funny. Ciao.
Yeah. It is.
Whatever.
We're gonna be smiling.
I love African Americans.
All over you.
All right.
I love African Americans.
Oh my goodness. Yes. There we go.
Oh, I'm Black, so I appreciate you too. All right. Bless.
All right. Take care. We got another family member here, Catalina Bird. Hey, Cat.
Hi, Go-Go. Hi, Donnie.
What's up, Cat Bird?
How you doing?
I'm grateful.
I'm pulling double duty, but I promise Go-Go, and it means a lot to me. So I'm in the hallway at Micah because it's the James Baldwin 98th birthday celebration at Nancy's. But I wasn't going to miss the opportunity to tell you how much I love you and how much I appreciate you. And anything that anybody knows about me as a media personality starts with you and Sandtown Winchester Gazette, and you believing in me first and foremost. And so much so that you wanted to write a story about me just being on an open mic one time 2 weeks ago as I embark on this new comedy career. But you can't buy that kind of love and support. And we are family. And as families do, we evolve, we grow. Sometimes we in good places and sometimes we not, but we praying for each other every day regardless.
That's right.
So I'm hearing an underlying theme that all of these people have a Donnie Glover story. And so let's just put that 600-pound gorilla right on out there. What's your Donnie Glover story?
Ain't enough time in this broadcast. And I could go in this other room and pull out Miss Denise, who's over here.
Go get them all. Go bring them.
Leslie.
Go
and
get them.
Charles
I'm
Robinson.
starting to feel like R. Kelly with Gayle King and
Go
Oprah.
get them. Go get them. Go in there with the go. Let's follow you down the aisle. Go get them.
Damn, it's getting hot in here.
Yeah, I bet it is.
It's too loud, but everybody sends their love. Everybody sends their love. Charles Robinson, Sean Yost, Miss Denise Dorsey, John Milton, Wesley, everyone, Kevin and Bill. We're all
Hey, Kevin and Bill.
yeah, and
They are open this late.
going to the next. I think your best chapter still lies ahead of you. We can reflect on what you've done, but that's in the past now, and it's the foundation for the greatness that you're going to pursue. And I think one of the reasons I get respected at such a young age, so early on, was because I followed the very first lesson that you taught me was for every skill you learn, you turn around, you find somebody to teach it to, and you always be reaching back. And that's when you put me on the air. That's when you put me in print, digital and physical. Sandtown, Winchester Gazette, BmoreNews.com, DMG Global. I can run down every brand, every logo, every person that said they wanted to be a journalist that we poured into, and then they changed their mind and went and did something else, But we tried, and that's all you can do. But you master one craft at a time, and you always look behind you, and you always pass the ball. And that's the truth that you walk in, no matter what Donald Glover story anybody tells, that should be the most constant and consistent one.
So give me 3 things that are real takeaways for you that will just stay forever in your spirit that you've experienced with Donnie through your experiences with him.
It was definitely the mastering one craft at a time thing. Don't try to be a master of everything and be a master of none. If I want to be a writer, then write. If I want to do radio, then do radio. If I want to do TV, then do TV. And then I can come back when the other skill sets I've honed and collaborate and bring them together later. But I have to study. I have to be a student of whatever I'm doing in the moment. You can't be a student in the moment and a master the next hour. And if you've ever worked with Donnie, he's going to throw you in the fire to test that. He's going to give you 10 minutes notice and you're going to host the whole show and you don't know who the guests are. And in radio, it's not like TV. Like facial expressions can't carry you. 10 seconds of dead airtime sound like 10 minutes. So you better know how to talk off the top of your head or you're going to sound foolish. And he was listening whether you knew it or not. And he's going to tell you if you messed up or not and where you could improve. So that's probably my main takeaway is you ain't got to be ready if you stay ready and take it one step at a time. The other thing is just the importance of respecting your elders. The way Donnie loves my father and has always supported my father and acknowledged my father when a lot of people in this very democratic city wouldn't have ordinarily. Donnie's never shied away from admitting his love for Victor Clark, admitting his respect for him, and appreciative of the support that he gives him because it's a reciprocal relationship. And then probably last but not least, I don't think there's nobody else that calls me and makes me talk to their dog.
So wait a minute. I need to be real clear. Are you telling me that Pharaoh?
Me and Pharaoh got a real good relationship.
I thought that me and Pharaoh was happening.
Oh, no.
I didn't know that you was talking to Pharaoh too.
Pharaoh too.
Oh, Pharaoh be playing the 50. Pharaoh paying the 50. Pharaoh be playing, and ladies and gentlemen, this sounds like really like a joke. It's not.
It's not.
We literally, Donnie will take the phone and put it down and say, Pharaoh,
right?
Your Catalina or Cat, whatever he's calling you to Pharaoh, and he's calling Marcia, he's calling and the dog barks and growls and he's talking. He says words. Pharaoh
knows who we are.
Yes, he knows our voices.
He knows our voices.
He knows our voices. That's hilarious. I didn't know. that you were also part of the threesome. That is a hoot. Pharaoh. Pharaoh learning something over there in West Baltimore. That right there, girl. That's a hoot. That's a hoot. That's a hoot. But I think it's all these little silly things that are just really wonderful that we know that you are part of our family too. And though you get on sometimes my last one, what you do and the work that you do, I am so very proud of you and your straight up no chaser commitment to the truth. And that's your slogan. We uncover the truth, and that's real. And
Yeah.
we appreciate that.
And
We
we
really appreciate that. What'd you say?
then we keep it moving and we live our truth. We all of our slogans all go together.
Yes, they do.
Family that we are.
You need
Yes,
a Catalina Bird and a Marsha Jews to watch your back, because their loyalty is rare.
Oh yeah, I think that's very well known from anybody that's known me at this point. I'll cuss anybody out about either one of y'all. And
Same over here. And the same over here. And I'll walk across town to make it happen. That
No. I'm sorry I can't stay longer, but the Micah security said I got to get out of this hallway because I'm not.
You're past your location. Right. Thank you though.
I love y'all.
Love you too. Tell everybody hi.
I will.
Okay, love you. Yeah, this is really wonderful. We have several other people that are supposed to be showing up for us, and so hopefully they'll be coming on. But you know what? I want to know what happened on the day that you actually 20 years ago that you said, I'm getting ready to create my own. What was going on to make you say, I need to do my own thing, period?
I was working for a dynamic woman named Diane Bell McCoy. My supervisor was Michael Preston. And my job at the Empowerment Zone was to help empower people, was to spread information about home ownership, about employment, about business resources. And for those who don't know, the Empowerment Zone covered East and West Baltimore. Not the whole East Side, not the whole West Side, but a significant portion, including my community, Sandtown, Winchester. And from the very first moment that I learned about it, and then once I got the job there, I knew that none of that information mattered if I didn't first help empower myself. And if you haven't listened to Kendrick Lamar's The Heart Part 5, in his last riff, where he's talking about Nipsey Hussle, he said exactly that you got to take care of yourself. You can't be good to nobody unless you're first, taking care of yourself, empowering your household, and then your block, and then your community, and then your city, ultimately. So for me, that's what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't, how can I be around all of these resources and not take advantage of it myself? And again, I grew up in a family business. So a shout out in heaven to my dad, Donald Edward Glover, and to my mom, Lily Juanita Glover. They ran a funeral home. He was the funeral director and mortician, but she was what every business needs. She was nice. My dad was a little rough around the edges, but mom's was that smooth glove. I don't know if you've ever met Roberta March, but that was the wife of William C. March.
Yes.
Quite often, great men need great women, because the great women know the flaws of these men, their shortcomings, and they make it all right. So growing up in a family business, it was just a matter of time before I got my own. And then once you start making money for other people, it's just something in the back of my brain, because I like making money, and I don't want you taking but so much of my money.
Right.
And
But
again, when you're raised with the mentality of owning a business and shout out to your producer, Katanya Lester. But all of us who have been on this call today are entrepreneurs. And it means, we got to this point through different ways, different paths, but this is where we are. And one of the things that we get from each other is that inspiration, that motivation, that faith, that spiritual food that we need to go another day. Because in 20 years of running my own business, I can't speak for anyone else. And my lights ain't been off, my phone ain't been off, and I've eaten every day. But there were some days where oil was very expensive, and I had to huddle around a heater. I won't use a car as an excuse at all, because I get around with or without a car.
Right.
And thanks to people like you who taught me about Lyft, I say to hell with a damn car. Because Baltimore speed cameras. I mean, Baltimore, well, anyway, I'm sure we'll get to that at another point. But as an entrepreneur, there's so many facets. But when you live, eat, and breathe entrepreneurship, when and again, a shout out to Katanya and you, because she's younger than us, but we all on this grind. We know if we don't kill, we don't eat.
Mm-hmm.
And it's different when you work a 9 to 5. And I'm not knocking a 9 to 5. I worked over 50 jobs, everything from cleaning toilets to being a stockbroker trainee. And I learned from each of those jobs what I did not want to do and why I did not want to do it. But I think I've always, this was bound to happen, just logically. I imagine me working for somebody.
No, I
really,
can't.
I
can't.
Really, especially when you recognize your hunger, your thirst, your set of skills. You can't work for nobody. You stay there for a minute, but I know you. Somebody gonna get cut and cussed out shortly. Good time,
Yeah. But I think it's really important.
Strong-minded, and I really mean that as a compliment.
I know, and I appreciate
so if
that.
y'all don't know this about this lady right here, let me tell you. She's the type, number one, she terrorized my German Shepherd.
That's not true.
And let me say, God rest my sister. My sister went home a week ago, Carolyn. But Carolyn and Marsha literally walked past my German Shepherd. And I don't know what they did to my dog. My dog, he ain't been the same since. But Marsha will drive to New York in a thunderstorm in 2 hours flat. Matter of fact, it was an hour and 59 seconds. And so that's the type of commitment you need to run your own shop. If you can't get to New York in 2 hours, then I'm just pulling your leg. It was 2 hours and 3 minutes. But if you can't get to New York in 2 hours and 3 minutes in a thunderstorm, you're not ready for entrepreneurship. It's not for the faint at heart. Oh, snap.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, there we go.
You really set me up. You really, really set me up.
Good evening, sir. Thank you. What a wonderful surprise. Woo-hoo!
Happy anniversary, Donnie.
Governor Boyd Rutherford. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Sorry to be a couple of minutes late.
No, we're just grateful that you took time out of your busy schedule to celebrate this brother. And I know he is tickled about it. So, and really surprised. He don't even know what to do with this. So what made you
doing okay?
Go
Good
ahead.
to see you, LG.
I was asking Donnie if he's doing okay.
I'm humbled, honored, I'm grateful. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
What did you notice about him? What did you notice about him as a businessman? Because he took to you and you took to him right away. Once you got in office, there was something about his acumen or something occurred, but you saw something in him, and I see it every time I see you two together, and it's really wonderful.
Okay. First of all, excuse my dog. I think he wants to go outside, but I'll get him in a moment.
We're good.
What I saw with Donnie was a brother who was serious. He was serious about what he wanted to do, serious about what he was creating, and serious about our communities. So that's, sometimes, we should be able to say that about everyone we come in contact with, but a lot of people are more talk than they are serious about their business and about what's important to them and the community. And he kept all that in mind.
Mhm. And what's also interesting is how, as a business person, we are trying to work through being in the state of Maryland, and he's able to get stories in his publication. Is it because I think it's because people know that when you get something coming out of his shop, it's the truth, and he's done his homework. What do you think about the publication? And I know you read it. And
Mm-hmm.
what do you think that people should do? What does it say for you as Lieutenant Governor for the state of Maryland, and to be able to see this publication that's local, regional, and national, and global?
Right. Well, it kind of goes to what I was saying before, and what you said. He's done his homework. We know that it's thorough. When he's saying it's his opinion, it is his opinion, versus when he's giving fact, and factual content. And so that it's at the grassroots or ground level. It's not someone sitting off in a studio somewhere reading someone else's work, on a teleprompter, or that comes in through some other means. This is something that he found, that he has actually gone out and gotten the information, did the research, followed up, and spoken to the appropriate people, and then reporting the facts or providing commentary with regard to what's going on, what folks are doing and not doing.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just step to the door for a moment.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt here.
No, listen, are you kidding me? I'm just grateful that you took the time to be here. So what you think about the Lieutenant Governor visiting you on your 20th anniversary? Excuse me?
You set me up.
Yeah, if I didn't let him out, he just would have kept going. So
Well, no, I think
I'm
I
back.
understand that we're just grateful that you're even here. And I think Donnie is in shock. He wasn't expecting to see you. And I'm just so grateful that you took time to come, because he really cares a lot about you, and he has a lot of respect for you and the work that you've been doing throughout the state, right? And so for you to be here and to touch him the way words that you're saying, touching him, to let him know that he's on the right track, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. No, Donnie's on the right track. And, looking forward to bigger and brighter things as he continues and, continues to grow the brand and continue to deliver the word.
Lieutenant Governor, let us say thank you to you for the past 8 years. People have bragged about you across this state. Not one of them, they know not to bring it to me, but when they mention you, they speak of a man about his word, about your character, the fact that you stand up for Black businesses, even businesses that have been on this particular show right here. I remember making a phone call, and the next thing I know, people started doing what they should have been doing all along. You have looked out for those who have tried, small businesses, countless times. People don't know that you're from Washington, D.C. They don't know that you face the same challenges that any young Black man in any urban area experience. And also, if they dare take you on the carpet about your politics, I've seen you defend it every single time, and successfully. But more than that, you've led by example. You've looked out for people. You love loyalty, and you have a beautiful family that has treated me the same. And that's all you're going to get in return.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you, Donnie. And thank you, Marsha. And
thank you. Thank you for your service. And we're really glad to have had you in that position. Are you going to talk about next steps? That's another show.
That's another show.
All right. Very good, sir. Thank you so much. And tell your team thank you, because they really made it happen. I just appreciate you so much.
Okay.
Have a good evening.
Well, you all take care. And again, congratulations, Donnie.
Thank you, LG.
Many more successes, many more years.
Yes, sir. Go Ravens.
Okay, take care.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor Boyd Rutherford for the state of Maryland. Thank you, sir. Hey, Donnie.
All right, so you're gonna stop all this setup movie. You know, I'm minding my business.
You said it was the 20th anniversary.
Well, you did real good. You did real good.
And
what I can tell you about that lieutenant governor, he has not changed. You give respect, you get respect. And that's
right.
how he's always carried it. He's been the same. I mean, I've known him in office and out of office, and it's a steady, high-heighty, just a steady, person. And it's a reminder also to us as Black people, everybody loves Westmore, no doubt, but we cannot afford to give the Democratic Party a pass. Baltimore is 9-1 Democrat, and so a Democrat cannot say anything.
This is not what we're talking about on my show.
To me,
we're going to talk about. No, that's not what we're going to talk about on this show. I don't want to have that conversation about that. We're only talking about.
Oh, I ain't no Trump lover, just so you clear.
Oh, we're not talking about any of these other people. So, what I'd like to know.
You said that already now.
Yeah, well, I'm saying it again. So I'm gonna tell them what they told, tell them what I'm gonna tell them what I told them, tell them again. So Donnie, you have all of these folks on blackusa.news. Let's talk about that, and how does that work with bmorenews.com?
I guess it's with Bmore News. When we first started, websites in 2002 weren't not that popular. And let me tell you what else was not that popular, at least in mainstream. The term Bmore. When I launched Bmore News, there were even Black people saying, "Oh, that's ghetto."
Why did they say that? Because it was Bmore?
Bmore. But now you got Bmore everything. The white people got everything. Bmore Doug, Bmore Media, Bmore this, Bmore that. So in the words of Jay-Z, I guess we started another trend. How you like that, Katanya?
Katanya likes it. You're gonna come on the screen, Katanya. There you go. Hey, Katanya. Katanya is our producer and public relations and marketing in 12,000 other titles.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. It's such an honor to be here. I've known Donnie for several years as well. He's always been constant. That's one thing I can definitely say about him. And I'm just honored to also be a recipient of the Black Wall Street Award. Got this a few years ago, along with my client at the time, Lil Key. So that was a wonderful day over in Northeast Baltimore, I guess we could call it. But I just appreciate you, and I thank you how we've come full circle with me being having the opportunity to be the producer of this show on your network. And I'm just so proud of you. And I always try to I know you're always moving fast because you're doing so much, but whenever I'm in your presence, I always try to take the time to learn from you. And as Catalina said earlier, that when you learn something, pay it forward and teach somebody else. So I appreciate all the teaching moments that you've given me and everyone. And just how we're still connected even after all these years. And I appreciate you. I love you for everything, and I'm here for you at all times. And I'm loving this with Marsha, trying to teach her some new things. You know how she is, Donnie. But I just love it. I love it so much. And you were one of the catalysts that inspired me. In spite of me having learned some things on my own and trained myself, but you were one of the catalysts of me going back to Morgan and finishing my degree in public relations, advertising, and media sales. And so I'm just happy for you. 20 years. Wow. You don't look it. How about that?
Well, it takes a team, and we all help each other. And if we can help each other, at least let's not hurt each other.
Exactly.
We just stick with that. We don't have to like each other. We don't have to be in love with each other. But if somebody is hiring people legitimately, creating opportunities, we have an innate responsibility to help them.
Indeed. Yes, indeed.
There's some people that want to open a corner store on my block. I need to meet them
Okay, wonderful. Yes.
to see who they are, what they represent, because we don't want to not help a Black person in business. But as we all know, we got to come correct. We've all missed an opportunity because we weren't correct. We didn't have all our T's crossed and I's dotted. And people like Marsha, you know, help us to stay on point. If you ever have to do a project with Marsha as the supervisor, oh my God, let me tell you something. Number one, you better get up early, and I'm just gonna suggest you get a lot of coffee, because don't go to sleep, because she gonna call you, because when she has her name on something, it's only gonna be one way.
Excellent.
There's only gonna be one way. That's what she impresses upon us.
Yes, indeed.
Yes. Get on our nerves. You get on our nerves.
That's okay. The feeling is mutual.
You get on our nerves.
And you do too. Jerry, you do too.
We wouldn't be successful if we didn't get on each other's nerves. It's like one big family.
It is a family. Catalina, you, Marsha, the lieutenant governor, and I mentioned party because we Black. At the end of the day, we Black. We are all we got. So we need Blacks who are helpful everywhere.
Right.
Everywhere. You can work a 9 to 5 and still get a Black Wall Street award. We celebrate, let me just clarify that. We celebrate Black entrepreneurs and professionals, as well as the people who support them regardless of race. We celebrate every race on earth. And little kids can get an award if they support their mom or dad in business, or if they've started their own business. It takes all of us. Who's this person? Am I going? Am I cut yet?
So we're adding Sterling McKinley. Sterling is the new senior executive at Career Communications Group. His priority is STEM City USA, where Black USA News and WKIM are featured in their newsroom. So hello and welcome. This is the first time we got to meet you. We're excited.
Yes. Thank you, Marsha, for having me tonight.
And
you know, yesterday when you reached out to me and I heard your name, I said, Marsha, I know she is. I haven't heard her yet, but I'm glad to be here tonight speaking with you.
That's great. And he's brand new.
Yes.
So, but I thought it would be really great to have him here representing the company and all of the work. So can you tell us a little bit about the relationship with STEM City and what's happening with STEM City? Because that's the house where we are in the metaverse.
Right. Great. Yeah, well, STEM City is a really exciting development. And, you know, I think it came about because of the pandemic. Before the pandemic, we were out and about, we were meeting in person, but the pandemic came and we all closed in, we're inside. So, now video and all these virtual experiences, Zoom is more important than ever. So that's really how STEM City came along. It's a place where we can connect, where we can congregate together, also where we can learn, we can educate, and also train as well. So it's really a virtual 2D metaverse where we all can join together and meet and share. And I think it's so important because it's all about, no matter if you can be in person or if you can be virtual, that we all have the same experience. And that's what the metaverse is. The metaverse is a virtual experience where we can all interact, learn, and share. And I think for people of color, there are so many opportunities, especially when it comes to education and training.
And so people are contacting you to be able to host different events and experiences there?
Yes, currently have quite a few content providers that have different shows that they air daily, weekly, or monthly on the platform. Also, there's various companies that host events on there as well. So it really depends. But it's a place where anybody that has content, anybody that's trying to reach people is where you want to be, because once again, we have so many people that are excited about the metaverse. And once again, it's really big on education and training.
One of the things I like about STEM City is that when you arrive, there's this whole experience that you see all these buildings, and what are they called? The little people that are walking around and doing things.
Avatars, maybe.
Avatars. Thank you.
Right.
Yep, that's it. That's it. That's it. And so they're going in and out of these buildings, and so
Right.
we can, because Donnie, the whole Black News USA is on there, so we can go into that main Deloach building, if I'm not mistaken. And
Right.
when you go into the Deloach building, you look for the newsroom. There's a little sign, and you can go up into the newsroom and see all of the shows on blackusa.news. There you go. Wonderful.
Right. You got it. It's a great, good experience. You can do a lot of things with inside the metaverse. Can you see my screen? I'm sharing.
Yes, it's wonderful. I like it when it was a bigger one, though. You had it so that the STEM city, you could actually see the city itself.
Right. Hold on. Let me.
Okay, you just had it. And Career Communications Group is owned by Tyrone and Jean Taborn, and they publish public magazines and conferences. The Black Engineer and Information Technology magazine,
Right.
Hispanic Engineer and Information Technology magazine, and then they have the Women of Color STEM conference,
Right.
as well as Black Engineer of the Year Awards conference. And I'm sure that I'm missing something.
I think you cover all the bases, but yeah, there's publications. There's also national conferences where, once again, they just highlight all the work that people of color are doing in the fields of STEM. Because I think one of the things that gets lost is, in every field, whether it's STEM or anything, there are unsung heroes, people of color that done great work in those fields. And CCG's mission is really to highlight those people and highlight their stories, because their stories are empowering. Not only does it empower the youth to explore and to be involved in STEM, but also it recognizes the people that are currently in those professions as well. So it's kind of a two-pronged effect. But once again, it's all about just celebrating and highlighting those people that have great achievements in the fields of STEM.
I know when I first started over there, it was really interesting to, too often we don't know what people do, right? You see somebody, you meet somebody, and they don't always tell you all their business. But to see so many men and women that look like us, that are creating every major instrument or technology or scientific whatever, and we don't know about them. We just don't know about them. They're well protected.
Yeah, we just don't know about those people. And one of the people that I learned about at my time here, and also I learned about before I was younger, is Dr. Mark Dean.
Yeah, IBM.
He was an inventor, computer scientist, engineer at IBM, and he did some amazing things. He worked on the first personal computer. He owns 3 patents, 3 of the 9 patents for that. So those stories are empowering. It tells us that not only we can do it, we already done it. So stories like that need to be shared. They need to be put out, because once again, they help everybody, just not people of color, but everybody needs to know about all the inventions, all the advancements that we've made in the fields of STEM.
And so in looking at all of the new things for you, and it is really incredible, what made you decide to go to Career Communications Group? What when you went through that interview, what was it that stood out to make you say, yeah, I'll take the job?
Yeah, well, I think you just said it. Hearing about their mission, hearing about all the unsung heroes that they're highlighting, that really stuck out to me, because especially now in this time we're in, it's very important. So it was that, it's one thing to have a job, that you go to make money. That's great. But when there's a mission behind it, it makes it that much better. And, a place where I can, highlight some achievements that we've done as people of color, and also empower the youth. That was something that was very, very exciting to me.
Donnie, do you have any questions?
Who are you, Sterling? Where are you from?
I'm from Baltimore. I was born in Baltimore, moved away to Hampton, Virginia. Grew up, came back in college, went to Moreton University, and I've been there ever since.
What part of town do you claim, Sterling?
I really don't claim anywhere, because I was only here for 3 years as a kid, but I'm originally from the west side of Baltimore.
Come on, Sterling. I need an intersection. I need an intersection, Sterling.
I was a kid when I moved. I can't give you one.
Really? Okay,
He's gonna wear you out, Sterling. You just warming up. He's just warming up,
Right.
honey.
Well, welcome, Sterling. And
Thank you.
we believe the same thing. It is all about expanding that technology. Welcome. It's a big family. Dr. Taborn is our fearless leader,
Mhm.
and it's a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, thank you.
Especially you being from Baltimore. You sure you was born in Baltimore,
I'm
right?
sure. I'm sure. I was born Mercy Hospital.
Oh, Mercy Hospital. Okay. I like Mercy. That's a respectable place.
Mercy, mercy, mercy.
A lot of love there.
I like Mercy. It's a
The
good
word is
place.
welcome.
Welcome. Give us a couple of things that we should do, some action items for the people who are watching.
Well, if you're watching, you probably aren't on the SimCity platform, but if you're not, visit SimCity USA. Go to the site, browse the different buildings. There's so much stuff there. Trainings, there's content providers, so many things that you can learn. And daily, we're adding new content and new options as well. So that's what I would do. Just stay tuned with SimCity. There's so many things going on there, and just visit it. And always there's something new to learn and see.
Well, just know that you have an open door, open
Okay.
invitation to come and tell us or bring us up to date on new
Right.
things that are going on, new activities. Because
Okay.
I bet you have a whole bunch of things that you've got stirring around and stirring in that pot that you're going to create in there. And I'm looking forward
Yeah,
to
I
all
have a
the
few.
possibilities.
Right.
Anything else you want to say, Donnie? 20 years?
Again, welcome, big brother. We're just getting started.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yes, sir.
Sterling McKinley, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
joining us. I know that you're knee deep over there, and I know you took some time off to come over here. So thanks again, and we'll be talking soon.
Great. Thank you.
And we'll see you in STEM City.
I will. See you soon. Bye.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. That's great. I'm really happy to see that they have somebody taking over on that. That's total responsibility. That's going to be huge. I'm really excited about it. But we have another surprise. Woo! Here we go. Surprise,
Oh my goodness.
surprise.
Donnie.
20 years. 20 years.
Oh my God. 50 years, Donnie. It seemed like only yesterday.
What is that behind you? That's what I was. That's your granddaddy's newspaper?
Yep, that is right there. That is look
Oh,
at
Illinois
that.
Chronicle.
Wow.
Where'd he go?
What happened? I don't know. Here he is
Somebody
over
put
here.
him
He went to
Kick me
another.
out. As
No,
you can
you're
see,
right there. I don't know what happened.
as you can see, Donnie, we talk about this all the time.
Is
Donnie,
one of those pictures your granddad?
the one that looks just like me.
I love it.
Almost the glasses, right? And so Marcia,
I
Donnie
see
and I,
daughters in his face too.
that's crazy, right? Donnie and I always talk about this, Marcia, because he was my grandfather was a race man. Donnie's definitely a race man. A term we know that term, but
What's
the
a
new
race
folks,
man? Wait. What is a race man?
a race man is a man who's about his race. I think Marcus Garvey was a big influence of that, that generation. And so I always told Donnie, we met 20 years ago, about how he reminds me, his energy reminds me of my grandfather, because my grandfather was a printer, he had a trade school, he was a lawyer, back when you just had to get a certificate to be a lawyer. He was a race man. He had a drum and bugle corps that he sponsored, Carver,
Wow.
and he's in Little Springfield, Illinois. And again, I think of Donnie, and so now here we are, Marcia, 20 years of Donnie publishing, right, a digital printer, a digital man of the press. And back then, Marcia, we'd see Donnie at these events pulling out that damn camera and putting it in people's faces, and everybody would be like, what is he doing? And now everybody's doing it. It's weird. Donnie is innovative and futuristic, but at the same time, old school at the same damn time. It's interesting. It's an interesting thing.
That's an interesting juxtaposition. How do you get that?
I think he, just like many of the great people from our past, I think what Donnie understood, he had great leadership, he had great instructors. And I think those instructors, what they always understand is, if you know your past, then you can maneuver your future. And that's something that I laugh, Donnie. I know, Marsha, I know you see it too. Nowadays, I hear famous young people, I hear my kids, I hear people say, Marsha, you're gonna get this. when young people say, I don't know, I'm young. Man, Marsha, when we were coming up, when you
What?
said something crazy like that, your parents would look at you like you a damn fool, right?
You couldn't use those 3 words.
I'm young. What are you talking? And it was crazy is you see celebrities, millionaires in their late 20s or even early 30s make a mistake and then say, I'm young. And you're just like, dude, Donnie, what? Your instructors didn't know damn about you talking about I'm young. You're supposed to know it. You're supposed to know this information. We studied what came before us. So I think Donnie, who's a historian and has studied what came before us, it's easy to kind of see the future. And speaking of future, just shouting out Dr. Dr. Taborn that we all are connected to.
Yes.
Same thing. We've been in that encampment for all these years. And Marsha and Donnie, we saw, he's always on the cutting edge, dragging us along. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes kicking and screaming for real.
But the funny part is, isn't it amazing though how you look up and you actually, even though you feel like you don't get it, you start to understand things. Even this metaverse thing. I think we have been talking about the metaverse with Doc for so long. When you talk to your friends, you realize they really have no idea. They'd be like, now what exactly is it?
They glaze over.
Yeah, but we're kind of like, well, what it is. And so, Donnie, as we celebrate 20 years, man, something that and you and Marsha are entrepreneurs. I'm a wannabe entrepreneur, really just putting my toe in the waters. I look like an entrepreneur, but man, the fact that y'all get up every morning, you got to kill it and eat it. I just appreciate that so much because I think in our community, even our leadership, that's something that's missing. An entrepreneur has a certain attitude that every day I have to make a difference. And I think sadly, some of our leadership, some of our greatest leaders, they didn't have that and don't have that. And that's what kind of holds us back, because getting that bag, as Donnie told me, I have a media company, Donnie has a media company, Marsha has a media company. Marsha and Donnie get the bag. I got great relationships. I don't get the bag that much. I'm not closing, I'm not asking, I'm not positioning. And you guys understand that it's your lifeblood. So it's like, look, I got to do that. If we ain't talking about the money, if we're not talking about me helping you and you paying for me to help you, then what are we really talking about? We're talking about getting used. And I think, again, the community, sadly, I think we have to start looking for this trait in our leadership. We have to start looking at this trait. Imagine back when, back in the 60s, right? And they were knocking on the doors. They said, what do they want? They said they want equality.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, great. Yeah. Equality. Great. What if it is switched? What do they want? They said they want $80 billion. Now it's a different ballgame because equality.
But I got to jump in because,
Donnie, it's your day, 20 years.
Well, you are an entrepreneur also, and your entire family is entrepreneurial as well. Now, different than a person who works, say, a government job or for this company, when you're in media, it's not a regular 9 to 5.
No, that's true. Well, it's true.
Your wife, I imagine, works hours beyond just a 40-hour work week. She has to be available just as you did for special appearances, for this or that. But also, you can't tell me you're not an entrepreneur. Marsha, pay attention.
I'm paying attention. I can hear and walk and chew gum.
Look at me. Look at me.
I don't want to look at you.
He went on the train to a Brooklyn basement every week, and then went home on the weekends to go and get that bag. That's not regular.
Well, yeah, that's true. Okay, I'll give you that. I'm just saying though,
And
but
while you were up there, you started Archer and Pine.
Well, that's
if I'm not mistaken.
Well, that would have been amazing, boy. Archer and Pine. Shout out to
I remember you wrote a book about Big Daddy and the trampoline.
That's true. No, I told you I got my toe in. I'm saying I got my toe in. The toe's in there.
No. You were in the Middle East. You were over in Dubai.
Well, shout out to Sophia Robb. Talk about a businessman. That's a businessman right there.
Mhm.
So you can't keep rubbing elbows with greatness
Well,
and not be great. So you're just as great. And thank you. I need that graphic right there. And one of your daughters obviously look like you and your granddad.
well, again, Donnie, so it's about you, but again, that ferociousness. And then you know what, Marsha, what I love,
I mean, New York is a ride, bro. You went up and down. I rode with Marsha one way for 2 hours. We got from Baltimore to downtown Manhattan, and I thought I was on the wildest ride in King's Dominion.
And he just talks about it all the
He did
time.
not stop for any coffee. I think she may have been a little mad, and she was playing this loud gospel music, and she kept.
Well, you needed it.
repeating,
You needed
You
Jesus.
know that. What?
That's right,
Say
Marsha.
it again. Say it again out loud.
You needed Jesus with Marsha.
Yes, on a regular basis.
In the beauty though of like when you know people for a long time,
And you know them.
and you know them, and you get like, you know, we know our stories, we've seen our struggles. I remember,
Yep.
Marsha, we used to come see you down at the Frederick Douglass Museum.
Yep.
And again, what a beautiful place that was. That genre, Donnie, you know, all these different journeys that we've been on. And it's great because you see, again, for people
But you
who
never
are,
switched up, Mark.
huh?
You were a celebrity.
Mhm.
You were making pretty paper,
Always.
but
Yep.
you never switched up.
Nope. At
I
all.
remember
Ever.
you spent
Still
the night in
hasn't.
front of Western District Police Station. I thought you lost your damn mind. I'm not sleeping in front of Western District. But of course, that's what the gig called for. You got mad points for that.
Well, Baltimore, you know, Baltimore, how it is. Baltimore is a very, regardless of what some
Right.
sources say,
Right.
Baltimore can be a very loving place. When Baltimore loves you for life. If Baltimore don't love you, well, they don't love you. But it's like, yeah, my time in Baltimore with the radio show, it really, and as we look back on that time, even back again when I used to come visit you, Marsha, it seemed like it was a special moment in Baltimore. That 2000, at around 2000, the energy seemed like a lot was going on. It felt like we were getting some momentum going.
Ain't nobody spending the night in the street in front of Western District today, buddy. I can assure you.
Not at all.
Well,
that's a whole nother, that's a show by itself. We're not gonna
you know
go
what?
down that road.
And you guys already know, but when we did that, we did the 92 hours of peace. We did a couple like that. Mark Clark in the Park. We did a couple. And the part that always got me was, again, the humanity of Baltimore. So many people who are our listeners. You know, I remember, and Don, you've heard these stories before. Marsh, you may have too. You know, one sister that's always, you know, come out and support us. We're doing that. We were there for 92 hours. She said, in that apartment up there, she's on her way. It's 6 in the morning, 6:30, Marsha. She's on her way to work. She's like, in that apartment up there, I got shot in the face. She was a drug dealer, and the deal went bad. And that getting shot in the face made her get off the streets and get a job. You know, another one of my great, famous moments, one of my most, I think, special moments. We were down at the Inner Harbor, and this brother who was a big fan of the Big Fat Morning Show. You know, we broadcast from South Africa twice.
Okay.
And he came out from the back.
I remember that.
He came out from the back, Donnie, kitchen. You know, dishwasher, working the kitchen. He said, "Hey y'all, I saved up my money. I'm taking my family to South Africa." You know what I mean? That's Baltimore. The thing about Baltimore that people don't understand is that, and the Big Fat Morning Show, I think one of the reasons it resonated, people want the answers. They want to know. You know, I'm talking about my family. I'm talking about, we did South Africa. And when we did stuff, we didn't do it like, we're here and you're there. You know, we didn't do it that. We were like doing it like, hey, this is just like Baltimore. Got cats rapping, people doing this, da-da-da. And so people were curious, but people are so curious. You know, we talk to Elijah and the politicians every week. People want answers. They don't want to be dumbed down. They really want answers, more than just partying. And we saw that, because a lot of times, you know, you do stuff, you be like, well, that's a serious show, or it's kind of a heavy show. Even compared to like DC right down the street, our show just was much more, had more content, because people wanted it. Yeah, they want to jam. Of course, we're gonna get the mix on. We're gonna talk about real issues. And Donnie, you know that, and Marsha, you know that these people are mischaracterized and misimaged. And I guess as media people, it's our job to shine the light on that that positivity and that desire. I call Baltimore is like, I think that's why Frank C had so much success. It's almost like people wanted to know, okay, what you show us how to party, Frank. What's hot right now?
Right.
You know, because I
Right.
think Baltimore, I call it a Pied Piper city in a lot of ways, like open to listening to what you're saying. DC, New York, they're almost like, nah, I know what I'm doing. I got it. You
Right.
can't tell me what to do. I'm smarter than you. You
Right.
know?
Ain't trying to hear it.
Ain't trying to hear it, you know. And so that's why I always think. And so yeah, but again, back to Donnie. This one right here. This is my brother. This brother right here. We've laughed together. We've cried together. Donnie tried to kick my ass a couple times. You know.
Remember that.
Marsha, you know that Donnie. That Donnie. You be like,
Oh,
what happened?
oh, yes.
When it turned
We
left,
do know.
it
We
turned
do
right.
know.
I was like, what's going on right now?
It's a whole nother person.
I said, Donnie, I don't know what's going on right now, but I love you.
In spite of
I don't know what's going on right now.
all
Donnie.
that.
Marsha Donnie hates this story because I always pull it out.
And he already knows. He
So
has
look
an
at you, Donnie. Yeah,
expectation.
your daddy be proud, man. 20 years given, and you're writing, an excellent writer.
Yes.
Your paper, you single-handedly have been holding it down all these years. You don't get the you don't get the accolades that you deserve, but you're not chasing those because again, you were taught by the old crew where they that's not what it was about. It was about serving your community, helping people, giving us information, letting the world know how great we are, and that's what
And
people
telling the truth. And telling the truth.
telling the truth.
Mark, I got a question for you. What and Marsha, you got a guest backstage, but Mark, I got one question for you. What do these Joe Mann's Black Wall Street Awards mean to you?
Well, Donnie, first of all, again, you know, it's been very easy for Donnie to do this award, and it's just Baltimore. It's just the same old, same old. Because sadly, sometimes in our organizations, Marsha, we have a tendency to do the also, what is it, the term also, right? Whatever. We say it's the same people, it's the same clique,
same cast of characters.
Cast of characters, but Donnie can't shoot. My co-workers in New York got awards, deservedly, you know, people who had been, you know, a couple people were back in New York for the first time after kind of like being journeymen in this media business. And so they were proud, they were excited to get not acknowledged because nobody's acknowledging Black folks like that. You know, it means so much because we are, and of course, when you get to our age, everything does sound like a cliche. I know I say, but it's true. When we say we're standing on the shoulders, my grandfather right there, man, I'm standing on my grandfather. And imagine if I kept it, if I stayed in printing like Donnie, it would have been an extension. But I am, in a sense, I'm in media, but we're standing on the shoulder.
A variation on the same theme.
Right. We're standing on the shoulders. And why, Donnie and Marsha, why were every place have I worked, have I not lost myself? Because even though my grandfather passed when I was 3, I was surrounded by books by African-American authors. My grandfather's spirit was such that, black folks ain't supposed to sit in this row. One day he went down there and said we wanted to sit because he wanted to. And that same spirit lives in me when I'm in these rooms or I'm in these offices or I'm with these bosses. I'm always going to be able to say, I'm going to say how I feel. I mean, I'm going to follow your orders, but I'm going to give you my opinion because that's how I was raised.
But we need you there. We need you there.
Exactly. And then lastly, my wife, you know, unless they have somebody, it's one thing to say the kind of wife, kind of wife that says, you better not. You know?
She's bad. I
remember back, you guys remember, again, we've been together so long, we've been through the different phases. So you guys remember when Ehrlich and Steele were on and they were kind of taking the city by storm. We were having these meetings and they were getting traction and stuff. And I was excited about what they were talking about. Now, you know, I'm not. And so one day I came home and I was talking about it. Allison looked at me, she said, who have I married?
What is this exactly?
I said, all I'm saying is, I'm not saying I'm voting for them. I'm saying that I understand what they're talking. I didn't get, and then of course that famously the day before the election, they're on the morning show. I said, guys, I love you. I ain't voting for you, but I love you. and thank you.
And
But
that's
you know,
okay.
yeah,
And
that
that's
kind
okay.
of wife that's gonna be there and check you, and if something's crazy, don't do it for the money. Don't sell out for no money. Don't you know? I got you. So anyway, but Donnie,
It's the truth.
20 plus years and 20 more. You looking good, man. I think Donnie looks now better now and healthier and stronger now, Marcia, than he did 10 years ago.
That's a whole nother conversation. That's a different show.
Okay, you're right.
I want to say also kudos to your wife and your daughters, because they are the standard on love for her husband, their dad. And what I appreciate about you is easily you could be like, y'all mind y'all business. And I'm talking about the outside world, but your family is a media family, the first family of media, if you will, particularly in the realm of radio and TV. And I mean, if you think about it, it's a certain, you just carry it with a lot of class and a lot of responsibility, because you know others are watching you. Y'all show us how to love each other and support each other. The way Allison supports you, man.
Huge.
Well, and I always say it because of her love for her father, and that's sadly in our community, I didn't have it. You know what I mean? So that's why you don't really give a lot of advice out, because, as you know, Marcia, right? A lot of us did not have that father in our household. We didn't have that some of us didn't have that love, and so you see the power of it, because that's what it does. Her love for her father allowed her to love me no matter what happens. And I always tell this story. When things are going a certain way, and I remember the first time Allison asked me, I was raised by a single mom who was, reality. We call it reality, but sometimes it's really struggle, and it's reality because the struggle is reality. But so when Allison, Marcia,
the struggle is real.
The struggle is real. When she asked me, Marcia, the first time, Donnie, she's like, babe, tell me everything's going to be okay. And I was kind of like, raised by my mother, keeping it real Jackie, and Superwoman Jackie, who was a man. I was like, Donnie, I was like in my mind, like, is this a real question? But she wanted that. She wanted to hear from her husband, it's going to be okay.
Right. And sometimes you need that exclamation point so you can still be standing for real.
So Nana, I said, babe, it's going to be okay. She was like, boom, got it. And so from that point on, I understood, Donnie, the power, because I think, again, sometimes we don't know, we all are different. We all are raised different. But anyway, Donnie, love you. Marcia, love you for reaching out. Marcia, Donnie, Marcia reached out to me.
What?
Marcia Juice is calling. Hello?
Who's this?
Hey, look, tell the gas man I need the frames, man. I need the white frames. He don't need them no more. Tell him gear him up.
I was teasing him. Those are Pradas. I was like, he hands out those little fake glasses. He got the Pradas.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Like,
I'm on my show.
I see you, Jack.
You all right?
All right, bro. Love you, man.
Brother.
Okay, so give me
hey, Marcia,
45 minutes. I'll call you right back.
I don't know where you at.
I'll call you right back. Bye.
What kind of stuff is that?
All right, y'all. Bye.
All right, Mark Clark.
So when
all right, Mark.
And I'm trying to add.
Hey, Justin, she gonna get with you in a second. Pleasure
Thank
to
you
meet
very
you.
much. And congratulations, Donnie.
Bless your heart,
big respect, brother.
Okay.
Well, hello. How you doing, Mr. Justin Brown?
I'm feeling amazing. How are you?
I'm great. And so you have a company of your own?
Yes.
And you want to talk about your business?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first I want to say thank you, Katanya, for introducing me to this opportunity. My name is Justin J. Biz Brown. J. Biz is short for Just Business. I have a business called Maximize Your Moment 360 Video Booth. And I really chose that name of Maximize Your Moment because moments come and go, don't they? If you think about it. But if you take that moment and be present in the moment and give everything you have to that moment, you have officially maximized the moment. And I like to lead with that kind of attitude while I'm out here doing business. So Maximize Your Moment 360 Video Booth is a camera that spins around and creates a 360 experience where it actually creates like a boomerang video with a custom backdrop and a really amazing song in the background. And
I love it.
It's a really good time.
So well, first of all, I really appreciate you coming on the show because to be able to have you here as we celebrate Black businesses through the
Yes.
month of August. And, in looking at, businesses and small businesses through this pandemic, right?
Yeah.
So how did you make through? Because you look like you're doing okay and everything seems to be all right.
Yes.
How did you stand through this?
How did I stand through what the
Through the
pandemic or?
through the pandemic? Because it really
Oh,
impacted a lot of businesses, right?
yeah, absolutely. I would say, well, actually, during the pandemic, a lot of businesses were birthed. A lot of creativity was sparked up. Like that person who used to cook in the kitchen now wants to make dinners for their friends and sell plates. That person who would create music now they want to perform live and get paid to do shows and things like that. But actually, my business came after the pandemic calmed down when we
Okay.
actually started going outside again. So one thing I learned about entertainment is that entertainment is recession proof. It don't matter what's going on, you are going to get your entertainment one way, shape, form, or another. Whether it's Netflix, whether you're going to go out with your girls, or whatever the case, you're going to get it.
You're gonna figure it out.
You're going to figure it out. Yeah, so I figured it out. And I was at a party one day for a 50th birthday, and my girlfriend at the time, I will say nothing but great things about her. My girlfriend at the time
Thank
said,
you.
"You know what, babe? I think you would do a good job with that 360 video booth." And ever since then, it's been history. Yeah.
So you take your equipment to events and people take the pictures. So
Mhm.
and is it self-operative?
Oh, great question. Yeah. So, Marsha, some of my first events were, oh my gosh, I went to a fundraiser in Atlanta. I actually got on the airplane with my device
I
and
love it.
flew to Atlanta. What you're seeing right here is a few local celebrities, legit celebrities in DC, part of this reality dating show. And I went to this event called Save the Best for Last Saturday. And we had such a great time recording this video. And one thing about the video business and how I do it is that everyone is looking good and feeling good already. So, you ain't got to get nobody in the mood to have a good time. They already having a good time. And I add value to the good time.
Right.
I complement the good time by creating memorable videos such as this. It's all about capturing the moment.
But see, I was just going to say, and I'm going to be dizzy in a few minutes, but then it
Sure.
dawned on me that what you were saying was 360.
Yes.
This just continues as part of the entertainment for now, but you could be in a place where people are moving in different parts of the place. So this camera is on wheels, or it's light enough to carry and
Great
move across.
questions. Thank you, Marsha. Thank you for these critical thinking kind of questions. Yeah. So the people stand on a device, circular platform, and there's a mechanical arm that spins and spins and spins and captures the video. And it's the actual software that makes it, speed up or slow down or play in reverse, which is actually called a boomerang effect. So so those are a few tricks of the trade right there, Marsha.
I love it. And so obviously it's portable. And so you have a separate camera that's on this taking this picture. Now, and it can move around so people who are on the south side of the building can.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
And so you rent this out, or you actually go and you do it yourself?
Great question. So I own and operate my 360 video booth. I covered events such as movie premieres, fundraisers, Halloween parties, cookouts. You name it. I was there, Marsha. And yes, I travel. I put it in the back of my truck. It's very heavy.
It's very heavy. Right. Okay.
Heavy. But yeah, I get it done. But I love my job because I'm always in celebration mode. Always a good time. Yeah, here's another event I did in DC. Was called Sunset on the Potomac. You know, everyone came out looking good, smelling good, feeling good. And I was just really happy to be a part of that experience, you know, capturing their great night by creating 360 videos. Yeah, and I'm sure your next question is how many people can you squeeze on there?
Yeah, looking like 4 or 5, huh?
Yeah, well, I broke a record this night. That was 5 ladies on one.
And they're having a good time because they're styling now.
Marsha. Yeah, so you know, that's the best part of my job is that, you know, I'm around people who are having a good time, and it's a great time for me as well.
So, how long have you been in business?
Great question. I've been in business since November 2021.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so during this time, you've lived through the pandemic.
Yes.
You're primarily doing individual parties, but you're also doing corporate kinds of things or community activities, or so how do you do your marketing?
Great question. Most of my marketing is word of mouth, or, you know, personal referrals, or consistent flooding on social media. You know, people have goldfish attention spans, unfortunately. So you gotta stay in their face, and keep the content consistent. So yeah, I post on Facebook, I post on Instagram, you name it, I'm there, Marsha.
I love it. I love it. So do we have a website or an email address on how we're going to get in touch with you?
Oh, you got all the great questions today. Yeah, so you can follow me on Instagram, which is JBIZ410. I post plenty of content there. And that's just the best way to get in contact with me at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll tell you, this is really exciting. Is there anything else that you want to share with us? Because I think that it's so different.
Yes.
It's a different kind of program, you know, and people are always looking for something new, something to get them excited. So you're in the DMV area, so you go between here and Virginia, or?
Honestly, I have, oh my gosh, I have events lined up back to back, Marsha.
That's great.
I'll be in DC next week. Next month, I'll be in Las Vegas for a fundraiser. You know, May 2023, I will be in Aruba with my 360 video booth. So yeah, you know, I love to travel, so it works out perfectly.
That's beautiful. You know, and I think it's a great idea because people are always looking for something. So before you did that, now that you're doing that, will you have different people in different cities, or that you in different locations, or how are you going to set that up? Because I think you're already busy. I can see you getting busier, right? And people, word of mouth is a beast, especially if they have a good time.
Yeah, truly. So some of my ideas or vision for expansion includes investing in more units, so I can, you know, cover more events and cover more parties, hire more people, train them to run it, have them cover the parties and things like that. I have ideas of investing in different types of photo booths. For example, there's a full body mirror, touch tone, selfie, full body mirror that I would like to invest in. Really perfect for galas and wedding receptions and things like that, because it's so classy and so pretty and shiny, you know. And who doesn't want to see themselves in the mirror after you got your tuxedo and your gown on? So I want to invest in you know, units like those, and build the business.
But you know, the entertainment business will always be thriving. People are going to always want to go somewhere and do something, right? And they want to remember those experiences.
Yes.
Right.
Totally
so
agree.
These videos that you've done, are they able to go on a disc and then the people can take them with them, or how does that work?
Yeah, great question. So Marsha, after you will complete your video, I would get your phone number, I would type it into the software, and it comes straight to your phone, and you press the link and poof, there's your video.
Oh, we said we in technology. We ain't playing with this mess. And we're going to get it delivered today.
Same day service.
I love it. I love it. So it actually drops onto a disc. Or it's a
No disc
software?
needed. No disc needed. Nope. You can either have access to your own personal video or access to the whole album of everyone that took a video that night.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. And that just goes to, so I don't know. I see that it's the maximize the moment at JBiz 410.
Yes.
And well, Katanya knows how to get in touch with you. Or do you,
Yes.
is there anything that you want to share with everybody?
I want to share with everyone some inspiration that in order to fully maximize your moment, and you want to live a life with no regrets, you got to maximize your moment. Moments come and go. Moments come and go. But if you are present in that moment, and if you give your full self to that moment, you will have a life with no regrets because you maximized every moment. So whatever's tugging at your heart to do, to open that business, launch that business, call that person, return that email, I think you should go do that. I think you should maximize your moment starting today.
Well, you know what's real deep is that, there's been a lot of deaths. We've lost a lot of people through
Yeah.
this pandemic. And you're absolutely right. You need to maximize every moment, and every second is precious.
Yes, indeed.
And so I don't want to act like I'm not caring about your time, but I appreciate you coming on and sharing. And if you ever have some other things that you're doing, please let us know, because our goal is to be able to make certain that we see businesses and we see our community and we share all that's happening in our community. So thank you again. We really appreciate it. Justin J Biz 410. Take care. Maximize the moment.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. All right. Good luck. Well, I'll tell you, this has been really full. Donnie Glover, 20 years, and he disappeared. I don't know where he went, because we have several other people that are supposed to be showing up shortly. And I don't know where he is. Katanya? Mm, 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 mm. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, we'll be right back. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, our other guests have not shown up. So this will conclude tonight's broadcast. So you have an early evening. Go make yourself a snack and curl up and have a great evening. Thank you so much for watching. We're glad that we celebrated the 20 years with Bmore News, and we're just tickled to have met Jason and his company and hearing all about him and all of the great things that they're doing. We've got a big show coming up next week, and so if you're interested in coming on the show, or if you have someone that you'd like to recommend, I see Katanya, our producer, was kind enough to put my email address up there. So give us a call, and we would love to chat further with you. And have yourself a great evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. Enjoy your evening. Good night. And thank you, Katanya.